Um, Not much, as best I can tell. This footage was taken at about 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and as you can see, the streets are pretty much empty. The city looks very dead. Uh, Now, you might think, like, oh, of course, this is Edmonton in the winter. Nobody wants to go outside. But no, it was freakishly warm while I was there. It was in the 40s when I recorded this video. It was in the 50s the day before. You would expect people to be all over the place, exploring the streets. But nope, here I am downtown. I'm right near the main central library, near the central train station, near the city hall. This is, as far as I can tell, as downtown as it gets, and really nothing is going on. Now, admittedly, I was only in Edmonton for about 4 days, but this tracks with my experience of all 4 of my days there. This is more footage of streets near downtown, and again, there's some cars in the streets, but it's just empty. There's no pedestrians around, and this is just how it was. Okay, I think the reason for a lot of this becomes clear when you simply look at the way that this city is and the sheer size of it. Um, Edmonton has a population of almost a million people, um, but it has a metro area population of only a little bit more. The population of the city itself is about 75% of the total population of the metro area, while having a land area of 264 square miles. This is massive. This city is absolutely enormous. Boston, for comparison, has land area of 48 square miles. So Edmonton is 5.5 times the size of Boston, while being something like 30 or 40% larger in terms of population, and having a significant smaller metro area population. Boston has a population of 650,000, but the Boston metro area has a population of nearly 5 million. Um, and I think this really kind of illustrates the point is this kind of shape that I've drawn has the same total area as just the city of Edmonton by itself. So it's really clear that Edmonton is really kind of a massive sprawl of land. Um, and you can look, the city of Edmonton is one of the lowest population densities in North America. So I think that has a very large impact on how the city feels and, kind of how I experienced it. If you look at the city of Edmonton and kind of zoom out, there's simply nothing around here. It looks, on the map, it's wilderness. And if you compare, again, to Boston, this is a much more urban area with cities all around. So um, I'm not gonna fault Edmonton for kind of being where it is. Like that's what Edmonton is. It's not like I expect other suburbs to exist, but I think the result is it seems like a much more empty city than perhaps it actually is. Um, it's simply so large that the population number is a bit deceiving for the amount of area it is. The population density is so low that you don't really see people concentrated in one area. Combine that with the fact that the infrastructure is incredibly car centric, um, and everybody drives everywhere. You don't see anybody walking in the streets, and it honestly seems to me like a dead city. It seems like Boston during COVID or something. Now, I will admit that I didn't exactly explore all the city. My time spent in Edmonton was pretty much right here. Um, and apparently there's the West Edmonton Mall, which everyone says is great, and there's some stuff down here, which various businesses and stuff. Um, but as a city is, even there was an Edmonton Oilers game, and I saw some fans in the streets, and it was just never as packed as you would expect from a city with a population of nearly a million people. Um, with all that said, if you notice, there's a river running right through the middle of Edmonton, um, the longest urban river valley park in the world, I believe, and that was incredible. One of the first things I did when I arrived in the city was go for a run and it was wonderful. I went downtown, I saw this funicular, I rode the funicular down into the river valley, and I ran along the North Saskatchewan River. It was really, truly a beautiful experience. I think the best urban running experience I've had. So, the trails and paths along the river valley really go an extraordinarily long way towards redeeming the entire city. Um, I would travel to the city just to walk along these paths. Apparently, it's 100 kilometers long of biking and running paths that can be used all season long. This is all right through the center of the city. It goes out to the suburbs as well, but this is, running within a mile of downtown in the woods. This shot shows, trees on one side. I turn around, and then that's downtown. One last thing I'll mention is that although their public transportation system is relatively limited in terms of rail, the trains that they do have are very reliable. They come consistently, they come often, and their main central stadium for hockey is right downtown and outside of a transportation stop. So that's, I think, a big win. Um, a stadium in America that isn't surrounded by miles of parking is really, really cool to see. Ultimately, I think Edmonton suffers from a lot of the same issues that many North American cities do, but it is currently investing in good infrastructure, and I see hope for a strong city in the future.